A very warm welcome here to a new episode of the weekly 11:11 talk, where myself, Carmen Cornelia Haselwanter, mentor and speaker for leadership, clarity, and impact, are sharing within 11 minutes three valuable impacts out of 30 years of leadership experience. Today, we have an amazing topic. It's about courage. By the way, it's one of my beloved topics, not only because this is a principle taken out of the all-in mastery, which I created by the time I left the casino, because I had a casino CEO position and I left it in the year 2022, right in between the sea time. And for me, it was an amazing change, definitely, which also encouraged and which also required a lot of change, a lot of courage, a lot of getting out of this great status into my own following up of my values. So therefore, I do know a lot about courage. And this is the reason why in this all-in mastery, courage is such an important impact. So let's talk about it. What is really, really changing your life to the better if you allow courage to be part of your life? Now, the first thing is about everything is about your mindset, about to realize where you're actually stuck. Because every change requires first to look on it, to see where are you. In my all-in mastery, I have created the all-in circle. And that model is something what you may take anytime, any place, everywhere, private, but as well in your profession. And it all starts first with your thoughts. Now, what do I think? What is it that in this very moment when I observe a situation, when I observe any sort of incidents, what do I think? Because out of that, what you think, you create an emotion. And that emotion, no matter now if it's positive or is it like really challenging, is creating a decision. And that decision is then actually, going further with your action. So now, for example, let's say to step out of the casino was an amazing, very important decision, which at the beginning really encouraged. My thought was, oh my God, I'm going to lose all this status. I'm going to lose all that what I was working over so many years. But in the same time, I had the thought, it's time for something new. It's time that I live my values, that I'm going to change now, that instead of serving my clients in the casino, instead of serving now with my knowledge out of 30 years of leadership experience, this is what I realized also in this very moment. So the emotion out of that was not fear, was not insecurity, was not, oh my God, now I'm not having my weekly, my monthly impact, my salary, but the emotion was excitement. Yes, it's time for that. So that's created the decision. I am going to step out of that routine now and step into another world. And this is what I did. Starting all over again at the age of 53. And that was the right decision to do. So I'm not saying now that you have to do the same thing. What I'm actually inviting you to do is that you check back your mindset. You check back any situation where you are. You hold a minute. And then what you do is you ask yourself, what do I think? What do I feel? What decision is coming up into this combination of mind, of thought, and emotion? And out of that, what is the action I am going to do now next? Because if you follow up these three circle steps, you are holding for a moment. You're not automatically run into the action. And let me tell you one thing, I am that type who is running very fast into decisions. But by keeping that circle in my mind, I am much easier in making wise and also caring situations, caring decisions, which helps me to make better decisions. And sometimes it's also good to looking up for role models if you're stuck somehow. Because role models, with their way of deciding, going, might also be an inspiration for you. So instead of saying, I do everything on my own, you may allow yourself as well to say, why not holding somebody by my sides? A sparring partner or an accountability partner, whatever that be. It is somebody you may exchange your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions before you're actually really going to go with them. So role models are very helpful because they already did their walk, their path, and you may learn out of that. And by the way, the learning activation is something incredible. I mean, watch children, those who stop out the first steps. Isn't that incredible? You know, they're really full of passion. They love it, how they see it. They're excited. And then they fall down, maybe they cry, but then they start up again and they try it again. And that's exactly what we adults may remind ourselves. When we fall down, instead of saying, oh, I'm going to give up. Oh, I am fed up with that. No, you just take the dust away and then you restart, full of passion, full of drive, full of the right intention. Yes, because it has a reason why you have this passion within you. You have a voice, you have experience to share, and don't keep them back in your comfort zone, because creating new things means at the same time as well recognizing new chances, new ways, new people, new opportunities. And of course, the risk is something which is goes along. But then on the other hand, I mean, life is a fully adventure. And we are truly alive when we experience new things. And by the way, it is also not that bad, to be honest, to share your insecurity, your uncertainty with certain people. Because let's face it, we are living in a time frame where it's all about AI. There are a lot of videos already going along with the fact that that is an avatar speaking to people. Well, me is me. I am not an avatar. This is the whole Carmen you have here in front of you, and I'm very proud of that. Because that is what us humans make the big difference towards AI. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I think AI is an amazing development and it is part of our life now. Also, that year, 1984, I remember very well when I was in school and we got our first computers. I remember when we got taught how to program the computer with 1 and 0. I mean, that's years ago. Nobody these days were imagining that the computers are going to be a lifetime on us. Or the iPhone moment, this is what we also call it. I mean, the smartphone, when that actually came into the market, it was a revolution, isn't it? It changed our life. It changed my life because today with the smartphone, I'm doing a lot of incredible things. No matter where I am, I can answer, emails, going into my community such as the Good News Club, where I am, inviting new people into this great community where we share good news, where we share positivity. And by the way, you're very welcome as well there. Because in that group, what we do is we are encouraging each other as well, to put the focus on that, what inspires us, what gives us a great motivation. And these are good news. And I'm sure already this morning you have had good news, great experience on your own. So why not sharing it with others and inspire and make people really wonder about how beautiful life is? Because that is also an opportunity. That is also the courage to step out of that, what we see daily, this news, which are not supportive, this scaring making. No, I changed I made a decision years ago. This is when I started over in my calling to be a leader, to show leadership from a different point of view, from within coming out. And you, my dear listener, are part of that. So feel invited now to take your courage all together. Great, get into these emotions such as greatness, enthusiastic, inspiration, and then walk small steps, step by step, small ones, and then you sit and you have a look around and you check back for you. What is it that you see? What is it that you like? You make the difference, my dear, every single one of you. Don't you ever underestimate your power. Your voice is important. Your voice is that what really counts. And by myself now using the all-in mastery to support people, enterprises, CEOs, by recognizing the next step for their business, for their personal life, where courage is one of the important principles, is actually bringing here a very, very high level of understanding. And I want to invite you, take advantage from a 30 minutes consultation talk one-to-one with me. And in the same time, feel invited to join the Good News Club on school, where we are gathering people together who are having the courage to step out of the system by only watching that what others are telling us is worth to watch. No, every single one of us, is the captain of our lives. So take courage as one of the values which you deserve for a life full of happiness, full excitement, and for the purpose you're here. Thank you very much for investing these 11 minutes for your future. Investing these 11 minutes in the present is going to change if you allow it. So feel free to share with us what are your golden nuggets out of that. Was there a word, a sentence, an impulse which you'd like to share? Sharing is the next step. And in the meantime, I am very much looking forward seeing you next week again in the weekly 11:11 talk, where we are making within 11 minutes a clear positivity way of leadership. My name is Carmen Cornelia Haselwanter, and wishing you all the best. And remember, go all in because you deserve it. You deserve it truly because the inner leadership is that what really counts. Take care.